Breaking news tabloids on knees again. Harry's team provided an official statement to GB News regarding the fake story in The Sun. The world has been watching closely, and now the tide has turned against those who spread distortion, manipulation, and sabotage. For weeks, the public was led to believe that the tone of the private meeting between Prince Harry and King Charles had been cold, hostile, and unyielding. Yet today, Prince Harry's spokesman clarified the situation to GB News with a new statement. He said, "Recent reporting of the Duke's view of the tone of the meeting is categorically false." Those words cut through the fog like a sword, dismantling the carefully crafted web of disinformation that tabloids had tried to spin. The Duke of Sussex, often placed at the centre of fabricated headlines, was once again forced to defend not only his truth, but also his father, the King. Reports of a frosty atmosphere, leaked whispers, and sources speaking to friendly editors were nothing more than manufactured tales meant to poison the possibility of reconciliation. Harry, who has been consistent about his desire to heal family wounds, found himself painted as defiant and resentful. But his official statement restored reality. The reporting about the tone of the meeting is false. Gifts were exchanged, but the content was false. The suggestion that tension boiled over during the meeting was a lie. And deeper still, the intent behind such reporting is becoming painfully clear. Sources, are trying to sabotage a reconciliation between father and son. The BBC itself captured the gravity of this revelation, reporting, "Harry suggests people trying to sabotage reconciliation with King. The Duke of Sussex has suggested people are trying to sabotage his reconciliation with King Charles, as he described media reports about their recent meeting as categorically false." These words matter, not just because they challenge the narrative spun by the tabloids, but because they expose the machinery working in the shadows. Every whisper to a reporter, every conveniently timed leak, every salacious twist on a private moment between a father and his son is not harmless gossip. It is sabotage. The pattern is familiar. A story emerges in The Sun, laced with hints of drama, designed to cast Harry as disrespectful, his father as cold, and William as the unspoken anchor of loyalty to the crown. Anonymous sources close to the palace suddenly appear, whispering half-truths that always seem to align with William's advantage, and when Harry responds, when the truth surfaces, the damage has already been attempted. Yet this time, Harry's team acted swiftly. By providing an official statement to GB News, they stripped away the protective cloak of the tabloids and forced the media to confront its own complicity. The revelation that gifts were exchanged between father and son adds another layer to the story. Here was a meeting intended to mend broken bridges, softened by gestures of love and tradition. Gifts are not exchanged in bitterness, they are exchanged in hope. Yet the tabloids, hungry for scandal, invented a narrative where even kindness was ignored. The suggestion that such a meeting was poisoned by hostility was not only false but cruel, a deliberate attempt to widen the rift. The official clarification punctures that lie and proves that those attempting to portray Harry as stubbornly unforgiving are the very ones working hardest to prevent reconciliation. Observers now ask the question, why? Why would anyone want to sabotage the fragile steps toward healing between a father and his son? The answer lies in power, influence, and the narrative of the monarchy itself. If reconciliation between Harry and King Charles is achieved, then the long-standing tabloid narrative of the rogue prince collapses. If father and son stand united, then questions will turn toward those who engineered division in the first place. And sources, know precisely how dangerous that shift could be. Harry's words, through his spokesperson, have sent shockwaves across the media landscape. Categorically false is not a phrase chosen lightly. It is a declaration of war on dishonesty. It is a refusal to let lies linger unchallenged. It is a reminder that truth, though often buried under headlines designed to sell papers, cannot be erased. The Duke of Sussex has long endured this treatment, but this time the statement was decisive, direct, and devastating to those who thought they could spin without consequence. The BBC headline tells the world exactly what is happening. Harry suggests people trying to sabotage reconciliation with King. It is not Harry creating conflict, it is others, those unnamed sources, who stand to gain from continuing discord. And now the public sees them for what they are. The people are watching not just a family matter, but a media reckoning. This is no longer about gossip. This is about the deliberate manipulation of a narrative to maintain control over public perception, even at the cost of family peace. For too long, the tabloids have been able to dictate the tone of royal relationships. They thrive on division, for unity is not profitable. Yet this breaking news moment marks a turning point. By calling out the false reporting, Harry's team has shifted the balance. They have shown that they will not sit silently while the media manufactures poison. They have highlighted that reconciliation is not just a family journey. It is a battle against those who profit from ensuring reconciliation never happens. And in this battle, the people are beginning to choose sides. Across social media, across conversations, across the headlines themselves, the tide is changing. Where once Harry was mocked, now he is defended. Where once he was accused of victimhood, now he is praised for his courage to speak truth to power. And where once his father was portrayed as distant, now he is seen as a man navigating both personal love and public duty, caught between two suns and the storm of media frenzy. But make no mistake, the statement today is not just about defending Harry's reputation. It is about exposing the machinery that has long orchestrated division. The gifts exchanged were real. The warmth was real. The possibility of reconciliation was real. What was false were the words of those who twisted these truths into narratives of conflict. What was false were the leaks designed to ensure headlines of hostility. And what was false was the notion that Harry and his father remain irreparably divided. Sources, are trying to sabotage a reconciliation between father and son. That sentence alone echoes with devastating weight. It shines a light on what many have suspected, that palace politics and sibling rivalry have spilled beyond private walls and into the pages of newspapers, weaponized for public consumption. And in that revelation, the true saboteurs are revealed. The story is no longer about Harry against the monarchy. It is about Harry against manipulation. It is about Harry's fight to reclaim honesty from those who have built empires on lies. And it is about the growing recognition that reconciliation, while fragile, is possible if the saboteurs are exposed and silenced. The tabloids are indeed on their knees. Their strategy of drip-feeding drama, of weaponizing whispers, and of twisting kindness into cruelty has been shattered by one simple, powerful truth. The reporting about the tone of the meeting is false. That statement, repeated again and again, dismantles the empire of deception. And from this moment forward, every headline will be read with suspicion, every anonymous source will be questioned, and every attempt at sabotage will face scrutiny. The breaking news today is not just about a statement, it is about accountability. It is about Prince Harry reclaiming his voice. It is about the Duke of Sussex refusing to allow lies to define his relationship with his father. And it is about the world seeing at last that the true villains are not those seeking reconciliation, but those desperate to prevent it. And so the chapter closes with the truth standing tall. Harry's team has spoken. The lies have been exposed. The gifts, the warmth, the hope, all remain. The sabotage has been unmasked. The tabloids are on their knees again. And in the end, truth wins. In the end, Harry's voice cut through the noise with devastating clarity. The reporting about the tone of the meeting is false, the gifts were real, and the sabotage is exposed. No tabloid spin can hide it now. Sources, have been unmasked as the architects of division. Father and son exchanged warmth, not hostility, and reconciliation is still alive. The Sun, GB News, and their clickbait allies stand humiliated, their lies shattered. The world sees the truth at last. The Duke of Sussex will not be silenced, and the saboteurs are on their knees. To all my curious Sussex family, thank you all for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, like and put a comment. Bye-bye. See you then on our comment section.